Something out there. Gotta go try to find it today. Celebration in heaven. What you know about that? Ooh, geometry. Look at that. Interesting. I didn't realize how much of a masterpiece or how artistic and architectural guardrails could be. All you gotta do is just look at it up close instead of drive by at 57 miles an hour. Thank you for that one. Can't believe I'm gonna be out here trying to do this thing today, but I planned on coming out way back on Monday to make time for today. Try to get up early. Traffic wasn't really cooperating. What a bummer. But look at this day. I mean, look at that. Got the suntan lotion on already. Cover the arms. Cover the head. Yes, I had prepared for the long day. But we're not going to be going too far. We just have a few places to look around. That's it. On a map, of course. We'll get there when we get there. All I'm going to be doing is just using my eyes in the memory of things that I've heard in one of my most previous videos. But I can't believe I'm going to try to do this thing today. It's going to be 96 degrees, ladies and gentlemen. 96 degrees. You talk about a hot summer day in GA. Nope, not what we're looking for today. But I'm praying something like that will lead us to something else. Let's pray that this jug lasts me the entire day. As hot as it's going to be today. Nope. Not going there either. Smells fresh out here. Well, that's because they replaced the planks. Looks like they replaced every last one of them. They haven't turned gray yet. Hey, look, there's an old phone cord from a house phone. All this garbage that comes from the city. It's you. What the heck? And most importantly, you know what that sign did not say? It didn't say no exploring allowed. And it did not say no looking for lost graves. Here we go. World famous spot. Right here. Talk about that in a minute. Let's let the family pass that's coming behind us. Every time I have something important to talk about, 1,000 people appear out of nowhere. Very monumental place right here. Top of the hill. On the walkway. About a month and a half ago I was out here. Last time it rained. Well, it wasn't raining then, it was just the clouds were rolling in from the south. And it gave us a couple of days of nice rain. Last time I was here. And got some very monumental EVPs on audio. As I was standing right there on top of the walkway. With the mountain bike. That's the reason I had to come back out here today. To try to find it. Try to find answers. Trying to follow what they told us. Residual EVP of a lifetime out here. Might be discovered, might not. Got to get to looking around on the map. I know how to find old graves when it comes to satellite images, especially older ones, when it comes to the landscape, the old farmland. One thing I've always known about old graves that have disappeared with time, the details of it, how they were protected in the past by using trees of life. Why is that so important? Well, think about it. How many times do you go out deep in the woods, or where there used to be woods, maybe old farmland, in the one location where you know there's going to be a grave or a grave site, a graveyard is what? A cluster of trees that the timber companies don't tear down. They don't rip down those trees of life that surround old graveyards. Maybe a large tree of life around one single grave. That explains the red boxes around the area out here on the map that I got to take a look in. Old clusters of trees back in the 1940s when these used to be old farmland for the lion farm out here. Those trees are no longer left standing, but at least the red box is there to give us a guide, right? But why am I looking for a grave today? Why am I looking for multiple graves possibly? Well, it's got to do with the EVP that I got when I was out here last time. One that I heard over 250 times. It sounded like a female voice or something like that, an effeminate voice. You already know what they said out here. I put it in the comments in the video. You talk about being drawn out. There's no name on your tombstone here. Like somebody's grandma back in 1809. There's no name on your tombstone here. And then I got a name. One of three names. One of three things possibly. Either they said George, Joyce, or they said something else that I have to look into. Another reason why I have to try to come out and try to find something today. Debunk it. That it might be something else totally unrelated to where we are today. George, Joyce, or something else. What is that something else that I thought they might have said out here? What sounds like George? What sounds like Joyce? Jewish. That's what I originally thought they said. I was like, that's impossible. Why would they say there's no name on your tombstone here? Jewish. Why would they say something like that out here? Why? What if they're trying to lead me to something else? Something I know about that I'm yet to even work on. Besides, one thing that's got me puzzled is that they said tombstone. They didn't say headstone. There's no name on your tombstone here. Tombstone. I had to Google the answer, try to find a difference between a headstone and a tombstone. A tombstone to me is what? Something much larger. Something that encases a tomb. Not a little headstone. But the website, a few of the websites out there said they're kind of the same thing though. They're kind of the same thing. So basically, we're going to be looking for a rock today that has no name on it. Standing up, laying flat, small, large. There's no name on your headstone. Tombstone. My bad. There's no name on your tombstone here. You talk about a drawn out question. But what if it's for something else? What if it is? What if they did say Jewish? What if they did say Jewish? Does that mean today is just going to be part of the game? That the grave we're looking for is not here. It's just residual part of my life. The ones that are always around me out here. Trying to get me to find that grave once again. There's no name on your tombstone here. Jewish. One thing I had to think about this location right here, though, compared to Oakland Cemetery. But what does it have to do with Oakland Cemetery? Last time I went out there last summer, during vacation, I was out there trying to get Hardy Ivy to go visit his little Hardy Ivy. Went out there to get Mariah to take his soul to go see his wife. Find out where she was at Oakland Cemetery. And then drive his butt all the way back to his grave. Next to the AT&T building. But another EVP that helped me understand the distance of life out here. On how an EVP can travel so strong, so far. When I was walking right past his wife's grave and I said, okay, Hardy, it's about time we get out of here. I can take you back to your grave. Another EVP for a lifetime, help you understand the distance of life out here. On how it's endless. He said, I'm back over here. Which probably meant he was back at his grave. But how did one EVP, out of that distance of over a mile, about 1.25 miles, how did an EVP like that get picked up throughout all the buildings, all the interference, all the electricity, all the power? How is that the only EVP picked up on audio? More than 1.25 miles away from where I was standing. I'm back over here. Seems quite impossible. But they make it possible. Because it's nothing but truth out here. I tell you that every single time. It's nothing but truth out here. You have to use your technologies of today to find out the truth. And that's what I'm doing. But what if today is just going to be a waste of time? What if it is? What if that grave we're looking for is just somewhere else, on the other side of the planet, with no name on it? And they're Jewish. And their name is not George, not Joyce. Out here, in this old landscape. Another EVP I got out here, within a couple minutes of that one. You're a strong little boy. Good job. You're a strong little boy. Good job. What the heck is going on out here in GA? You talk about residual. Your lives being recorded out here to be transferred on. The memory of your life. Try to remember what you can. Try to do what you can to record your own life. To remember it all. So in a way it can be transferred out here so you can keep on living. Because they hold all the memories out here within the life. And I tell you that every single time, don't take them down. Because they hold on to something so dear to you that you should never, never want to let go of. And that's the history of your own life. Try to do the best you can at it. Don't make it bad. Always try to make it good. At least most of the EVPs I hear are mostly good. Most of the residual stuff that I get is mostly good. Wonder where they are today? Don't know if they've been reborn again, transferred on. What if they're still out here, reliving their lives, young and old? Let's go ahead and take a walk around in these wooded locations. Try not to get too far off track. We got a rock to find, and it's probably not even out here. Don't even know where to start today. Just a small location though, not too far away from one another. Might find nothing at all. I doubt us even here. I just thought about something else. I just did. I just thought about something. I bet that thing's on the other side of the planet. It's part of my life. It's gotta be. Not my life today, but my life in the past. It's gotta be. I spent a lot of time out here when I first discovered this place. About 8 years ago. Hey, look at that sky. Beautiful. Heritage. What if there is a grave out here, though? Long lost grave. Either Native American or, you know, someone who's waiting to be found and realized again. Not ever forgotten. What happens if I did find something? What if I find nothing at all? Where did everybody go, though? That's what I want to know, and I'm always looking for. Where did everybody go? Before records were really kept. When they passed on. When they were just thrown into the ground. Another thing I gotta consider, based off the EVP I got from Hardy at Oakland Cemetery, when he said I'm back over here, 1.25 miles away. What if that EVP I got out here about the tombstone not having a name on it? What if it came from 3 miles away? What if it came from another place? That's 1.5 miles away, northeast of here. We'll never find it. There's no way to ask. No way. I know that for a truth. I know that for a fact. They're so literal out here. All they're going to tell you is I'm over here. We're over here. The graveyard's over here. Almost as if it's weird though. How come they can see us and they can hear us, but you can't see them and you can't hear them, but I can? First spot to the left. Here we go. That giant tree of life isn't here anymore. The one that's on the map. The historical satellite image. Looked at that image and I spotted a giant tree of life out here. And they cleared the land out here for drainage or something like that back in like the 80s. And from one year to the next, one year, one image, the humongous tree of life was out here. And then you skip to another year, and it wasn't there. Which means they cut it down when they cleared the land out here for something I don't know what. I've been out here a few times, but it's been about 3.5 years since I made it out here. Nothing but piles of concrete over there on that side. Next to the river, you can kind of see the horizon point where the river is. The brightness, the break in the trees. Why did they have to take down that giant tree though? Yeah, if you go back on historical aerials, you look at the images through time, and you'll see back in like the early 80s, mid 80s, I think. At some point in time, you'll see all this area cleared out and it's nothing but bare sand. And you'll see that they had some kind of old access road, and this is it. Or they went out to the river and just dumped a pile of stuff. I don't think I'll spend that long out here looking though. I mean, if they came out here and knocked down the tree of life, probably a humongous red oak or something like that, about 180 years old, 250, could be. Oh, we're walking in a flood zone. Oh, it's a wild turkey. Hello. You don't have any babies out here, do you? I don't want to disturb them. It's a giant wild turkey right there. I'm looking for an old grave. If you see a headstone out here, let me know. A tombstone. I'm looking. I'm waiting. You're going to tell me to stick it to the high road. Well, I'm trying to follow the map to where that tree used to be. Because there might have been a giant tombstone next to it. What the heck do I get myself into? Yeah, I'm leaving the turkey alone. I don't want to bother them. I'm having to go the dangerous route. Through the high weeds and stuff like that. But I'm not going to spy anything without that tree. Or where it used to be. They cleared out this land hardcore. Here's the river right here. It's amazing how quickly you can get around on how small things look on a map. I mean, they look far away on the map, but it's like you take a few steps and you're somewhere. You're at a location. You look on a map and you think it might take you an hour to get there. And it's been 39 seconds. Why did they have to rip down that tree of life down? It's almost like it's something I have to do today, though. Because it's not going to rain and fill up the landscape, all these flood zones out here, until I go through the challenge of finding something. And it's not even here. Not exactly it. Looks like a replacement for today, though, in this time, this day and age. Weeping willow, probably about 37 years old. Could be a little bit older. But this is where they dumped all the stuff right there, that big old pile, right in the center. Humongous tree right there back in 1950, 1955. Man. Trying to get an idea where it could have been out here by matching up all the geometries on the map. I think it was on the right, up in here somewhere, a little bit further back, compared to where I'm standing right now. I think I overshot the location. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, hey man, wintertime is the time to find it out there. Not the tree, but the spot where it used to sit. Why did they have to cut it down, though? That tree could have been the oldest one out here. One of the oldest on the farm. But they had to bulldoze the crap out of everything, didn't they? Back in the 70s and 80s. There's nothing like that exploring. Is that a tombstone? Doesn't look like one to me. Looks like a pile of concrete. They probably did it for drainage, though. They probably did it for the land to be protected from the river, the flooding river. As Atlanta developed. And it flooded even more out here because of all the impervious surfaces of the city. I bet it was the idea of the environmental engineers down here, because the land kept getting flooded. The more and more Atlanta developed into the future. The more concrete and asphalt that they lay down, the more it floods down here. Dang, there's a clearing in the tree. We've gone too far. It's beautiful out here, though. You can't, can't complain about that. Yeah, they built up a berm out here. They just piled things in to mold the land. Because the land was probably originally this low before they piled in the dirt back in the 70s with all the concrete and all. Wonder why they didn't stop to think to save one tree. Welcome to the South River. Don't have the creek walking shoes on today. I planned on staying dry. Yeah, I went too far. Look at all the concrete over there. There's tons of it over here. I know because it's on the curve of the river. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave this zone. Leave out of this one. There's not going to be a tombstone out here. Not at all. They would have seen it. Close to that giant oak tree that used to be out here. Up until like the 70s, early 70s. They would have seen it. They would have moved around it. Or they would have buried it even deeper when they dumped the soils out here to build up the landscape, to keep it from flooding. Man, what a hard hobby. Impossible hobby. At least I'm not that far from the trail. Be back in 30 seconds, feels like. Part of the process right here of clearing the land. Size of this tire. This thing's going to be here for at least 10,000 years. Well, no, take that back. It's not. It's not going to be here for at least 10,000 years. The flooding of the river is going to carry it out here probably within about 300 to 500. After another 1,000 year flood comes through here. another 500-year flood. As it breaks the barrier and picks it up to carry it even further and moves it probably, what, a few hundred feet? Humongous. Let me go ahead and get a reference picture with my hand on it. Let me know that I made it someplace today, because I'm always looking to make it somewhere. Humongous. What the heck do I get myself into? Now what? These were definitely here back in the 60s. Check this out. Look what I just came across. Vintage. 100% intact, kind of. Toy dump truck. Belongs to the feds now. Cool find for the day. Came from a long way. No tombstone here. Only stone in the batch. Ain't nowhere to tell. It's buried. Crap. More concrete right here to hold back the river when it floods. Hold back the stuff that it churns up. Danger zone. What the heck kind of game is this? It's not going to be here. I know now that it's not. What the heck kind of game is this? Well, now that I know it's not going to be out here, just go ahead and keep exploring. Might see something cool. More cool things out here. Old lawn chair from 1972. Keep looking. What do we have out here? Any more signs for us to follow? Old school dumping ground. Whatever's out here we can't touch, we can't take. I know that for a fact. The garbage belongs to the feds. They need to come out here and pick it up. Of course I know what they're saying. We'll just leave it out there, thank you. Even the modern fluorescent light from somebody's garage back in 1981. Heck is that? Hold on, I'm looking in 3 different directions at once. Another son. And I just asked for one. I already know the truth, guys. Because it's my game. Gotta play with the puzzle to find truth within the tree of life, of course. And the flower of life. But I've always found it. How many more signs are you going to run us into today? Jackson, Mississippi. What kind of sign is that? What kind of game is this? My game. Puzzle piece to a map. You've got to be bleeping me right now. Oh, so sad. They're friends. Come on, guys. Sorry about the dang cord. Where would you like to go? There we go. That's a lot better. Hope you enjoy it. Now that's one heck of a puzzle. Come out here and find this thing and put that thing together. It might lead you somewhere, to an understanding, and to knowledge, of course. I know that for a fact. What the heck do I get myself into? It's got to be up on a hill. Can't be in the flood zone. I'm trying to get out of the high grass. You can always tell a flood zone in a heartbeat. Bamboo grass, whatever this is, and box elder trees. Whoa, is that a snake? Thought that was a rattlesnake. You're probably wanting to know, where am I going? I know exactly where I'm going, but I've never been out here before. Let's just say it's an adventure in the making. The past 7 years. I wonder if they're going to let the waters get high and let it rain really nicely to raise the waters up after I make it out here, because they know my heart was set on trying to make it out here for 6 years. Because you'll always spot something on satellite images. Always. No getting lost out here. Always say you're sorry to the little ones. At least they covered it in. But that's not what I was talking about. The heck is this thing? Probably all farming equipment. Probably get $80 at New Recycling for this thing. Bullet holes galore. What do you think, 1947? 1954? 1962? I don't know. Bottom of an iron. Old school for real. Get off the tree. The heck was that? There's a compartment. I know you hear that. I know what it is. It's just the vibrations of the land, of the solid dirt underneath it, vibrating under this thing here. That's all it is. What the heck am I doing? they're trying to do everything they can to make me find something. All I did was just throw that heavy object there, and it sounds like there's a void in the ground. Like a tomb. Like a tomb underground. It's almost like there was a building everywhere out here. Stuff all over the place. Intact vintage bottles. By far the coolest find already today has been the chimney. If I see a plastic Home Depot or Lowe's bucket, I'm going to start screaming. Vintage gas can. Well, of course, I'm not the only one that finds this place. What a shame. Could never be the first person anywhere, can I? Look at this old school cart right here. Man. Looks like an old school walker for Grandma back in 1911. Well, I guess it's time to go. This is about all we're going to see today. Glad I made it somewhere, though. No real treasure. No geocaching box. Nothing else, really. Just an old abandoned home site with a bunch of bottle dumps and a tree of life and an old tractor and a pile of bricks. Pretty normal. At least I finally found it. Time to go. Back into the flood zone. You ready? As ready as I'm going to be. No reason to come back. I think we collected just about everything within our mind. Looked at every single piece. Welcome to heaven. Hope I make it out of here safely. But I'll tell you one thing though. Even if I did try to come back, which there's no reason to come back, because we found what we were meant to find today. And we didn't find a tomb or anything. But if I did try to come back, you can believe it's going to be the same steps every single time. Gorgeous. Briars all over the place. Is this where we entered? Yes, it is. Only overshot it by about 15 feet. What you know about that? Hey, get a load of this. Check this stuff out. Look at these gas cans. The underground containers that they use to store fuel at the gas stations. That one right there is 8 feet by 8 feet. Well, the diameter. That's got to be 8 feet right there. Humongous. Reference picture. things are gargantuan. When I first saw these things, I saw them in the past one time when I was walking up on the trail up here. You can see them. You can see them from the trail. But I actually thought they were bomb shelters. Who knows, I could be wrong. Maybe they're not gas containers. They could be anything at all. I mean, look at the size of these things. You already know. Can't leave unless I do one of these. Looks like they missed. Nothing like that community service before I get out of here. Dang, it's everywhere now. Beautiful. Time to celebrate. Oh, there's a tick on my hand. Hold on. Dang, did they ever miss horribly? Five of these things up in here. Oh, I need a bag. Man, there's like 25 cans out here. You guys crazy. I mean, do I have to pick up everything? They're covered in ants. That's okay, they can come get it at the garbage can. Dang, look at that. Heavenly. This place is about to be more heavenly. Because we're about to do that thing right. Get what you can get, because you don't know when you're not going to be able to get it again. Another stash. Perfect. Beautiful. Da Vinci style. See you later.